Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Mm, so I'll try to do it quickly. These are my older works of
Mhm.
scarecrows, some drawings and some paintings um, that I sent to you guys basically to Barcelona to check portfolio
Mhm.
before the residency. Um, and that's the basically the works that I've been doing for quite some time. So I just wanted to show you like where it came from, the beginning of it, so like basically the scarecrow and just playing around with the theme and exploring
Mhm.
the possible.
What
Uh,
are these paintings?
yeah, these are paintings,
Ah, nice. What
smaller
size
size.
are these?
I think they're all pretty small. I don't know, like maybe these birds
Like,
like 50, 50 or something like that.
uh-huh.
That's the biggest format. But yeah, I was really into small formats.
Nice.
They're
I
kind of
like the dynamic of the
Mhm.
composition.
Yeah, this was at Faculty of Fine Arts in Belgrade. It was my master
Uh-huh.
uh, like for the end of my master degree
Nice.
where this works.
And what are these oil?
Yes, they're all oil, but
Uh-huh.
the prime is acrylic. I always do that.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, I do oil, and all the like underpainting is in fluo colors, like just sort of make this like glowy effect in the end. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that's why these edges have some kind of like orange and pink kind of.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
an interesting idea. What do you achieve with that? Like you get kind of like the warmer tones, or you get some kind of like dynamic between contrast of warm and cold tones.
Yeah, and when you paint with when you paint with oil over it with a thinner layer,
Mhm.
it kind of looks like it's glowing from the inside.
Ah, right. Yeah.
I like that effect, and
Yeah, it's kind of like half transparent, so you can see
yeah,
through a little bit.
yeah, and it kind of looks like it has more like soul to painting, like something that's inside, and all the representation of these figures are like with no soul, just like bunch of clothes that resemble of a human form.
Hmm.
It was interesting for me to kind of think about that, and also I have a couple of these like fields, like cornfields. Kind of wanted to explore what's maybe try to make some type of narrative, but more like to explore something beyond just figure. So I guess the birds and the field is kind of connecting the possible narrative here.
Hmm.
And I also have like um, also explored with a little bit more monochromatic work,
Hmm.
which is kind of the same. It's the same motif, it's same concept, but I don't know why I did them. I guess I explored the
Oh.
the the theme, and here they're like uh really differently painted, like also a little bit windy effect, and the background is kind of having this like flat
Mm.
play of colors and like
Creating a movement in a way.
yeah.
Yeah, this is interesting example of what we were just talking for Rosie. Like this can be an interesting idea, like how you can approach painting. For example, like you had to do it, like you had to simplify the object that you were painting and then to
Yeah.
focus on different things. How would you describe what was your focus on when you were doing this?
Well, I guess that's my problem because I tend to like go all over the place with the idea, just try to find the perfect solution, and then I explore from different like perspectives, and then I get lost a little bit in that. So
Why do you think that's a problem? I see
I
that
don't
as a
know,
good thing.
because I guess maybe it's not a problem, but I guess it kind of confuses me in the end, because then all of a sudden I have same theme but different like
Mm-hmm.
different outcome, and I don't know if I want to present that to like the final process, like the final but I
Yeah,
guess
maybe, right.
that's just
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
process. I know, I just try to do it, and but you can see clearly here the difference. But this is more like naturalistic approach. This is more like
Right.
abstract. I don't
I
know.
mean, I know what you mean, but I can see them like at the same exhibition. They don't have to be. You can create like the whole body of work for different exhibitions. Like you can, for
Mhm.
example, continue this and round it up and have one exhibition with these. But I don't see any problem like having these next to the other ones, no matter that they're different, let's call it style of painting.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think like be, because I think that's the good thing that you can show that you can go deeper and exploring the theme from different perspectives and like in
Mhm.
different ways. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I like that, but I guess for other people to understand my work, it's maybe more confusing. But I guess
I
that's
mean,
the way
yeah.
I do it. I don't know how to do it differently, but
But I think like for example, depends who is your audience, you know, like if
Mhm.
you're like if you want to sell your work and get the collectors, maybe this can be confusing. But if the setup of the exhibition is kind of like an installation, like
Mhm.
if you approach it more as an installation, then it's not like linear, like now I have this, then I have this. Like maybe you can just positioning it in different ways, it will create kind of like a dynamic for
Yeah,
a viewer. It would create the same dynamic as you were experiencing it because it was exciting for you to explore in this and this and this different ways.
yeah, yeah. And I also currently I'm doing like video work with
Hmm.
the same theme. So I guess I just need to explore from all over the place, like from different through different mediums, and to kind of understand what I want to do. But yeah,
Hmm.
that's basically that's it. Yeah, these are my like more colorful works. And the thing, if you remember in Barcelona, I have that
Hmm.
also that presentation here. Just a second. Um, I don't know if you can see. Maybe to zoom
Yeah.
in. So yeah, these are works from Barcelona. The exhibition was called Zozobra, which is a Spanish word describing restlessness, and like some type of it is a part of a tradition in South America. I think it was Mexico or something like that. That they burned like the effigy every year. It was related to a festival. And the idea was interesting to me since I explored scarecrows before. I kind of wanted to explore that further in some different area that is not really related to a scarecrow, but it's similar in a way that they are making these objects. It's
We have
also
echo again. Asa, do you have microphone
Microphone.
on?
yeah. I don't know what's the problem with that. I mean, maybe it's because I'm sharing screen or something.
Now it's
I
good.
don't know.
Is it okay now?
Now it's okay. It was just for a second. I will mute myself also just in case.
Yeah, and so here I had a little time here, so I wanted to kind of reduce the color and just try to think about from like black and white perspective uh, to try to connect these things. And here I did some installation. This is like these are spikes that are kind of against the birds. They're like bird repellent stuff that people put on their terraces and all over the town to protect from birds going to that area. And I really was interested in them. They were interesting to me visually, and I kind of wanted to make a collage of different elements that connects to this same idea of a scarecrow that is also used to protect the fields from birds. So I kind of mixed that here with sort of more urban environment, maybe a city or something like that. And I guess this exhibition in Barcelona is a little bit more, I would say, it's not really that directly connected to the scarecrow, but it is connected in somehow to what I tried to explore. And here are some drawings on boards, on wooden boards, that are taken from Francisco Goya's drawings or etchings, I think. And I wanted to kind of represent this gloomy feeling and connect this to this zozobra thing that is used to kind of to be burned at these festivals and kind of take all of our cares and express through this fire. Like here is better shot. Yeah, these are spikes. And this was a video work that I did there. It's a wooden box with a screen projecting a video and a sound. It's basically kind of like edited collage of fire. I wanted it to represent that burning sensation and to kind of make a box, a kind of oven thing that people can write down something on paper anonymously and nobody could read it. Just like sit down next to this box and write all their worries or stuff that they want to symbolically burn. And they would put it in the box. Over the top there was like opening, like something like a vote box. This is also part of yeah, here is the picture. Like there was a table and people would sit down and write stuff. It was really interesting, like how this affected the people who were there. It was really like they engaged a lot, and I liked it. I had a little time, so I didn't want to just do paintings. I wanted to do something that that would kind of, I guess, engage people to do something more than just look at the drawings or paintings. This is the other work. Here I put the spikes on the top of a painting. And these drawings are made by, I wanted to make it to look kind of like this etching technique, but it's actually like a white character So yeah, I use it.
They really do look like etchings.
Yeah.
Mm.
I tried to, because this is wood, I tried to I bought the tools to try to really do that, but it was really like I didn't have time for that. It was really hard. And then this was like the faster way of doing it, but I like the end result. It's not that bad. And this is a sculpture that I made out of wooden frames for painting, which is really interesting to me, to make something that we all as an artist use to kind of stretch our canvases on, and to use it for something new, for something that's not supposed to be used for. And this is a simple construction that resembles of the gallows, which is like the thing that that this effigy hang from. It's just a construction, and I like the simplicity, the kind of minimal look. It is like 3 meters tall or something like that. And this is also another installation from wooden frames. And this is the whole room. So yeah, as you can see, like here is totally different. All my previous work is really colorful, and here I like try to reduce that and play with something new. And I don't know, this is like the end result. So if you have
Very
any
nice. Yeah, the exhibition looks super professional, very nice. But I wanted to ask you about the scarecrows. Like, what do they mean to you? How come you started working with scarecrows?
I don't know. I always it was as I said, like I always start working from a name. If I find an interesting name, I don't know why, but that's like it always starts like that. If I'm reading something, or from some type of word from a song or something like that, and then I just attach to it and try to explore. That's how it started. Beside that, I don't have any like relation to scarecrows. Typically, they were never my thing. I don't know, but as I started exploring it, I got involved more into that, and then everything I started thinking about that, and everything came to like building up what it can mean, what it means, what it can represent, what can I do with it, and yeah, as long as it's still interesting to me, I'll kind of keep doing it. And I guess it is interesting to me because I'm exploring it from different angles and experimenting with mediums. So that's probably the reason why I'm still doing it.
So I saw you had some on fire in your paintings. I was thinking, did you
Yeah.
ever think to marry the zozobra thing with the scarecrow and just build one and burn it?
Yeah, definitely. There was a festival here in Serbia that my friend made just last summer, and we're making it this summer again, and we were talking about maybe doing that.
Oh,
I
nice.
even
So
I
you,
even
Nice.
I even thought about doing this effigy thing with our president because of the political situation here in Serbia, and it's a common thing really in the world. People different cultures are doing that. They're like
yeah, you can
burning
start
the
new
city.
tradition, like what
Yeah,
Teresa was bringing, like videos from Valencia that they are
yeah,
creating these different characters and burning them. So
yeah.
you can start this tradition.
Yeah, and Spain is really interesting. I when I was there, I really felt like like the people will understand what I'm trying to do. It's really when I was in Barcelona, it's really I felt like people would understand something like this, and that is also the reason why I go further into that fire thing and effigy stuff.
I was interested in, I was going to say, well, there's two things I wanted to say. The first thing was, I don't know if you, in England here, we have this weird tradition where we have, do you know Guy Fawkes Night?
No.
So we have, in November, it's really random. It's a really weird holiday, but it's a fireworks night. So basically in the 1700s, this man called Guy Fawkes tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament. And he placed loads of like explosives underneath the Houses of Parliament. But he got caught and he was hung. But for some reason we celebrate this day. And it's so detached from politics. It's all it is just people like they make fireworks and set fireworks off, and we have sparklers and people will have a bonfire. But there's this other tradition that's tied into it called like penny for the guy, and quite often like kids, like street kids will have this they'll like make a man out of clothes or like stuff them with stuff. And it'll be just like this kind of sad looking like stuffed man in a tracksuit on the floor, and they're like, and then they just ask you to give them money for it. That's really weird. But yeah, it's just a kind of weird thing. Like they say like penny for the guy, and you'd give them some, it's like a weird form of begging, I suppose. It's super strange, but I don't know if that would be interesting to you in any way. Just this kind of like the combination of like fire and this sort of weird scarecrow thing, but instead of it being a scarecrow, it's just like a tracksuit on the street. And then the other thing I was interested in is the gallows pole that you used, and obviously the gallows pole is where people would be hung, like, you know, for punishment back in the day. Like,
yeah,
you know, they'd say like, we'll see you at the gallows pole kind of thing. And I just wondered what that was about, if you could talk any more about that.
yeah. I guess there was a picture of this. I think it was this the Zobra festival. Well, it's an all black and white picture of people gathering around this gallows and this effigy sculpture hanging from it, resembling of a human, of a real man, but it's not. It's just it's just a construction that holds this this thing that burns, and I guess I find it interesting to kind of have this like a sculptural thing that is not that just reminds us of a gallows, but it's not really, it can be used for that. It's just like nothing hangs from it. I even thought maybe I should put something to hang from there, but it's more interesting to me to kind of just stands there in the gallery, like just like maybe like a sculpture, like just like a form, or it was interesting to me. And
Yeah,
that
almost like a drawing in space.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
It's quite, to me, it's quite political, actually, and it's quite powerful. And the fact that it's kind of like on the wall as well seems like it's the other half of it is submerged behind the wall. that's how it looked to me. It was like kind of coming out and of this wall. And I think I agree with what you said. It's like way more interesting and powerful with nothing hanging from it. So I guess the viewer is deciding who's gonna what is gonna.
Yeah.
Like anticipation.
Yeah, I wanted it to kind of be like a formal sculpture, like just an object that you kind of get you ask yourself, is this, should this represent gallows, or what is it? Just I tend to always be between like abstract and like real. I don't know. I like mixing this. I like being on the line between those worlds. And I also, when I did that sculpture, I wanted to, I said to myself, it would be really interesting to have an exhibition just with a lot of these sculptures, wall sculptures next to each other in different colors and different like sizes, and just arranged like waiting for like a waiting room full of galleries.
A waiting room. I like the title.
Like death row.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I should write it down.
Yeah.
There's also like a play, like there's something to do with like height in your work. I don't know, there seems to be like a theme in that exhibition anyway. Like you're looking up to the gallows pole, or you're looking up to the top of the flames, or you're looking up to where the pigeons sit, and the spiky thing on the roofs. Yeah, I don't know, it's just like an interesting angle, I guess. It's like to look up, what does that mean? I feel like I'm just saying.
But I feel like it's kind of like creating a network of different association, like how like he's introducing us in a way how his brain works, and he's literally like he noticed this and then this, and like he's creating a connection between these things, and then like making them in some formal way by using a sculpture or a painting or a video or whatever. But then like this is introducing us, kind of like putting the viewer in a position that to experience what he's experiencing, which is a great thing. I think it's kind of like how you create an experience for the audience, like how do you bring your world to them, how do you bring them into your world. That is the hardest thing. So it's kind of like and like even I feel like me, or I don't think like each one of us, it's not even fully aware of all the things that are part of our own world. And in that way, like we are always seeking and always searching and like always researching and like trying to be aware more and more. And then like the hardest thing is how to bring the audience into this, that the thing that you do not know on your own. So in that way, like I feel this is a really great way, like kind of like sparkles that like it's kind of like he's materializing his own sparkles that are popping up in his head, and then when you enter the gallery you have this and this and this, and like it can be interpreted in so many different ways. That's how I feel that the audience was responsive, because you can get say similar association, but you can also interpret it in your own way. And I think like that's why the audience in Barcelona was so, like kind of like they were catching up, and like they wanted to play and they wanted to write and put in the box, and it's kind of like you made it interactive, and that was like really fun.
That's what I wanted to do, really. That was the point.
Yeah. And also, like, there is so much symbolism in all of it that can be read in so many different ways. Like, for me, it was interesting. Like, that was kind of like my projection. So, like, you have these gallows, but then, like, they're made of these stretcher frames. And then, like, each artist is using that? Are we creating our own gallows like every time that we're using this? It could be interpreted also in that way,
Yeah,
which
it's
is
definitely an idea, like playing with our artistic process and artistic
yeah.
materials. That's really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and you were also using found materials because you were in the residency, and then like you had this great gallery space that you could use as a studio, but then also like you were limited with time, and then like you were limited with resources, like you had limited budget also, so
Yeah,
you kind of like
everything was found
yeah,
there.
yeah, which is amazing, I think.
Yeah.
And sometimes limitations are quite good, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
If the if the possibilities are endless, what do you choose?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's something for Rosie to have in mind.
Yeah, that's my constant battle. Use.
Which limitations are you going to use to create this painting? Like
Yeah.
maybe you can use like limited color palette with this thick brush. So it's kind of like you put some limitations and then like you work with that. But then like you can also look at Ilya's paintings, like what with the blurry ones, that it's kind of like exactly what I was saying, like try to kind of like blur out all the unnecessary details and like try to focus on the essence, what is it creating for you, because like he was catching the movement of the wind and the colors, and like it's kind of like bringing us how his perception of this, it's kind of like partly imagination but partly the expression of what he feels while he's watching, right? Am I guessing something similar, Ilya, or I'm
Yeah,
totally...
that's right. And I did the opposite. I came from color exploration, and then I reduced that to black and white, and to try to find out what will happen out of it. And the end process, I guess, is type of a unified, um, like reduced, a unified kind of feeling that everything is like it just feel finished to me. I don't know, like when you see a white cube full of similar kind of elements that are black and white, it looks like it should be like that. And it was my first experience doing something like this, and it was really a meaningful experiment to me, I guess.
But you were kind of creating, like you were treating the whole space, like the whole gallery space, you were treating it almost like a canvas. Like you had like different lines and different compositions, and it's just like they were placed in space instead of on the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you did it great. I really like that exhibition. But I can totally see a connection. Like imagine that you have two rooms. Like in one room it could be placed like all these colorful things, and then you can get introduced like to black and white room, and then like you can have like your own world created in this way.
Yeah, when it's separated like that, it sounds good. Yeah.
It's kind of like has a flow, like it's leading from one to another, and like
Yeah, I'll think about it. Thank you.
yeah, I think like it's great.
The question, what that I was asked, what like what process scares you? Is there a process or approach that makes you nervous or shy away from that, but that interests you?
Right now, I don't know. I really want to try big formats, but I guess somehow I'm in advanced, I'm like not even starting to do it because I'm thinking about like these big objects, like big painting. What I'm gonna do with it after I finished it. It's really stupid. Like it's I don't know. I think it's more like that. I don't know. I have this like the kind of I'm blocked. I have this inspiration. I want to do it, but I'm not even starting because I'm thinking about this physical object. What I'm gonna do with it after? Where I'm gonna put it? Should I stretch it on the frame or not? And something like that. It's really like a
I
technical.
totally feel your pain, and I'm struggling with the same things for 20 years longer than you,
Yeah.
and I still didn't find the solution.
Will it ever stop?
I totally agree.
It's a real problem. Like, where do you keep all the paintings? You know, like at some point, I just stopped doing paintings because I don't know what to do with them anymore. It
Yeah.
feels so sad, like when I move from one apartment to another, and then like I just move all these paintings and they're accumulating over time, and nobody wants them because you don't sell them, obviously. I mean, like, not in a way that, like, you know, like it would be perfect if I just paint something and then sell it out and like everything is just like a flow. But then like I just have so many painting for so many years, and then I had like stages like that I would be like giving up painting, like I don't want to do it anymore because like I don't know what to do with it. But then like after some time I still want to do something. Then I was making, like, you see the painting behind Boschko, it's from pieces, but then like that has its own problems. Then like I was doing it on these only the raw canvas without a frame, but then like it has its different problems. Whatever you do, it has its own problems. So it's kind of like, but like, you know, it's also, I agree with you. I'm also blocked with this idea
Yeah.
that like I cannot think big scale just because I don't know where to keep it. And it's been a struggle really for 20 years. And like, for example, now in Barcelona, we have some artist friends, like it's really normal for them, like that, like as an artist, you should have a studio and you're paying for the studio, just even if you're not using it. So many of them have like other jobs and they don't have enough time just to sit in a studio and do things all day. But then like they keep it as a storage room. So for
Yeah.
example, like a friend of mine, he has this huge installation made of wood, and it's just blocking his whole studio, but like he's still doing big installations. And like, and I'm so fascinated, like it's kind of like my idol. I want to be like that, you know, like
Yeah,
it doesn't
especially
matter, you know.
especially with the sculptures, like what are they doing with all
Yeah,
these objects? I mean, painting is easier, but it's still a problem. I don't know.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
how
A friend of mine just
oh, sorry.
oh, I'm sorry. No, I was just going to say a friend of mine just gave me these roll-ups that, you know what I mean? Therefore, companies use them, like big canvases, but they roll up and
Yeah.
you just, they're on like this metal thing and you roll them down and fasten them at the bottom. And then when you have a company event, it says like the company name or something. And they were not going to use them anymore. And she gave them to me to paint on. So I was thinking of just spray painting them white and paint my own stuff on them.
Mm.
And they will take up, you know, like this much space, and they each have a bag. So I think maybe that's the way to go. Just get
Nice.
roll-ups.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean that that's true. Like for example, I did some of the exhibitions with the wall drawings, and then at the end, like I would just have a documentation, and then I would paint the walls back white, and that's it. So like that was the way to go big scale. But then at the end, I just have documentation, and they're gone. And then there is something also interesting with that, like with this, like if it doesn't exist as an object, if it's kind of like more valuable if it's just in time, not always existing in space.
Mhm.
It's kind of
Yeah,
like shifting the perspective.
Very interesting.
Burning them.
Yeah,
Right.
I wanted to say that there was an artist really, I can't remember name, but he was really a big name. And
He just the one that destroyed all of his belongings.
his last work was like, yeah, he just burned everything,
Mm.
which is
He
another
was
way
a
to
British
go.
artist, wasn't he?
Yeah,
And he made he got a warehouse and destroyed everything he owned, including all of his work, his house, objects, like everything was destroyed as like this art piece thing.
Yeah, but then like
um,
isn't it better like what Asa is doing? Like when she's making these big things, like and then they're intentionally big, but then they're also like short time in existence.
yeah, the installations. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to leave.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No worries. I think I'm going to actually soon.
Yeah, soon is going to be this one, yeah, so
How many minutes?
9.
Okay, so we just have 9 minutes.
Okay.
But I think like we are kind of like finished. Ilija, do you feel like you want to talk something more, or do you feel like
No, it was really good. Thank you for all advices and for watching this. It was a long time since I had this presentation.
nice?
It's really nice. Good
Yeah.
work.
Work.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I wanted